And good morning world. It's about 9:30 a.m. It's the 1st of June 2016. We have a big grand cross in the sky. It's kind of caught me and a number of other astrologers unprepared, but it's there. The Sun is opposite Saturn. The Sun is square Jupiter, the Sun is square Neptune. Jupiter is opposite Neptune. And Saturn is square both Jupiter and Neptune. It's a classic grand cross. It's going to get stronger over the coming 4 or 5 days, especially as we get towards the new moon in some 4.5 days' time, when the Sun and the moon will be in a grand cross formation with both Saturn, Jupiter and Neptune. So what does it mean? Well, it's unlike other grand crosses we've had in the past. It's unlike the grand cross of 2012, which was in cardinal signs, which was in Cancer, Libra, Aries, Capricorn. That was much more of an angst-driven, fearful grand cross with a lot of a need for action, a lot of sudden developments around the world that changed a lot of things. And it's certainly unlike the 1999 Grand Cross, which was in fixed signs, Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius, which was much more fear-based, A, because of the timing, 1999, and B, because of the fixed signs. A number of people were thinking it was the end of the world. This Grand Cross is in mutable signs. That speaks of adaptability, flexibility, the ability to bend, to be tolerant. But the fact is, it's opposite Saturn. So flexibility is not a high potential at this time. It is going to be quite, not rigid, because Jupiter and Neptune are dissolving and flexing everything that tries to become too rigid. It's a weird balance. On the one hand, it's very much rabbit in the headlights. Everyone's sort of going, oh my God, what's happening? Can't deal with it. Every time I try and pin something down, every time I try and make something happen, it slips and evades. To which I go, hello, Neptune. Every time someone tries to bring structure or order into something, Saturn will come along and go, no, that's not happening. The philosophy's not right. The truth behind it isn't right. So that's Saturn for you. And then, of course, there is the potential for a lot of undercutting, undermining, undervaluing, as well as overreaching, overstretching, overspending, to which I can only say hello, Jupiter in Virgo opposite Neptune square Saturn. This Jupiter opposite Neptune has been around since November, December of last year. The square to Saturn from both of them has been around on and off since February, March of this year. It is now at its peak. And I do suggest that over this coming week we're going to see more and more extremes of behaviour, of commentary particularly, of media representation of what's happening in the world. And it will be, on the one hand, the mass panic of Jupiter and Virgo going, the world's coming to an end and the refugees are killing us, and what about our country, regardless of whatever country we're in, a lot of xenophobia. Neptune will be bringing more and more news around the floods, whether it be water, refugees, empathy, sympathy, compassion. Saturn will be saying, well, we can't make our mind what our truth is, what our philosophy is. And of course, the Sun and Moon together in Gemini, well, that's just adding grist to the mill. And when I say rabbit in the headlights, that's exactly it. Everyone's going to be going, oh my God, what are we going to do? And they'll just be dealing with situations at the immediate moment rather than trying to see the big picture. The big picture here is that we are in a time of potential extremism, whether that extremism is undermining and undercutting or overreaching and overstretching. And the hardest thing to do now is actually what is being required and what is being asked of us, and that is to deliberately choose not to overreact, not to buy into the hype and spin, and to take the middle path. This influence is around now, and it will be around, astrologically speaking, for the next 5-6 days, and then it will come back with a sting in its tail around the 20th to the 22nd of June, when Mercury takes the place of the Sun and Moon and makes yet another grand cross. By the end of June, we will be in a much more stable space. Before then, there's a question of a referendum in the UK. The American election is getting rather heated. Australia seems to be going through some type of economic crisis. A number of countries, China, India, they're all seemingly going through periods of radical change. So it's going to be a really interesting, from my astrological perspective, month, and well, the next 3 weeks anyway. I cannot stress enough, folks. Deliberately choose not to go to extremes. Deliberately choose to take the middle path. You know it makes sense. You can go to extremes next month. All right, catch you later, world. Bye.